What's up, everybody? We are back. Hey, Rez, you shave your balls?
I do shave my balls. I do.
Welcome to Late Breakfast. I'm Taurian B.
I'm First Class Regg.
And we got that Aviles guy in the building.
What's up?
And this week we are going to talk about something that we bring this topic up every once in a while.
Yes.
The top labels in music right now, and that's rap labels, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. Rap labels are a huge part of hip hop. And right now we have a few new labels that are coming up. I think QC's the first one that comes to mind.
QC, what's the... CMG with Yo Gotti.
LVRN.
LV, that's the one I was thinking about with Summer Walker. Mm-hmm. I just like the way they doing shit right now.
Six Lack.
And Six Lack. Yeah, Six Lack.
I feel like people don't understand that Six Lack laid the groundwork for Summer Walker.
Yeah.
That was my
But I think we still got more to see from Black though. Like I think with his next album, whenever that'll be, we'll see that roll out. But what's their name again? I'm sorry. It's LV RN. But how do they pronounce that shit?
Love Renaissance.
Love Renaissance. Thank you. But Summer Walker right now she's reaching that real like big star status with this album that just passed. She just had her first number one. Of course, TDE is still in the conversation. They are.
Yes.
TDE.
Yeah. We're talking rap. If we're talking about Learn only has. Who can you name who's a rapper who's actively on? Sorry, LVRN.
Oh, I'm about to say what the fuck.
Sorry.
Love Renaissance.
Love Renaissance. I mean, because the only rapper they have is more signed to their management to me that I know personally. I don't know. There's other people they have on there that I'm not personally aware with, but the only rapper that they have that I'm personally aware of is Westside Boogie. And he's only signed to them as management. Same thing with Drum and the same thing with Division. Mm. Whereas the two prominent big artists on their team are more R&B, so I don't consider them in that conversation when it comes to best rap label. They do amazing with what they do with the artists they have.
I wasn't saying the comparison. I said, like, is TDE, and then you went into the LVRN.
Oh, sorry. TDE is definitely. TDE has one of the strongest teams all around in rap, period. The only label I'm going to put over TDE in a rap perspective right now, and that's only if they make the acquirement of 300 Entertainment, would be QC.
Well, I would argue that QC is the strongest rap label right now, and even without 300 being acquired, let's see, they have Lil Baby, who is being held as like the best rapper out right now, right? Mm-hmm. Migos, the best rap group out right now. The City Girls, who's one of like the hottest female rap groups out right now.
Love City Girls,
right? You have Lil Yachty, who is considered like the king of like the teens, even though he's almost 30 now.
Duke Deuce,
right? Mm-hmm. And there's a few other. I don't think Cardi's managed by QC anymore, but I just think that QC is really strong because. And then you're on. Damn, what's this girl's name from Milwaukee? Her name starts with an L.
Lotto.
No, Kai. Oh, it starts with a K. I'm sorry, I said L.
Nah, I think it's Lakai. I'm gonna double check.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's what you're talking about.
Kaya, right? She's from Milwaukee, and like she's coming up as a female solo artist, and she's doing really well as well. But I just think that there's, like QC, Lakia.
Yeah.
There we go, Lakia. Thank you. She's doing really well. All right, ease up. So she's doing really well with what she's doing, but. Like obviously we know TDE had their run, but I'm just saying like right now, I think obviously like we could say that, but like right now, TDE is pretty quiet.
Well, they're all so these are all labels that are in the conversation. So not to even make it like a competitive thing, but like, yeah, we named them.
We the only label.
We named them.
I would love
but
if you get on camera to have that conversation with us.
TDE, TDE's in a conversation because they, you know, as quiet as it was for some people, Isaiah Rashad's album is really being championed right now in rap. That was a really good album this year, and I can't wait till we have that top albums of 2021 because you guys are going to be shocked by some things. But so TDE remains in the conversation for that. Kendrick obviously being a prominent perspective of that because he has his last album with them this year, so that's putting a lot of eyes on them.
J-Rock had a critically acclaimed album. The year before last.
Yeah, and people were waiting for that too.
Right now,
but right now.
But I feel like when in the right now, you also have to take into how quickly we're processing albums and the way TDE approaches it. Whereas I'm sorry. I cut you. I want to apologize. I cut you off twice. But what I'm saying is that the way music is moving right now, that's how it is. But that's why I want to also go on to say that's why their projects last longer. Whatever project TDE puts out, 300 could drop any project from any one of their artists.
That's also true.
It's not going to last.
That's true.
That any
as good as Culture was, as good as Culture 3 was, nobody's talking about it anymore.
Exactly, and it's one of the top 5 albums this year, Culture 3, but nobody's talking about it. Yeah, I think it's better than both the Kanye and the Drake's albums.
I couldn't wait to get that off. I was like,
yes.
you've been dying and shit.
I'm dying to shit on those albums.
I couldn't wait to get that off.
There's like 4 or 5.
Reg almost said something, and I saw it, and you was like, and then Reg drew it back in. You were like, all right, it's not time yet.
But also, their Reason's dropping this year. We have another Reason project coming up. We're getting another Schoolboy project soon. Absol said he's been ready, but I'm not even waiting for that anymore at this point. And after the last 2 J-Rock albums, I feel they're more anticipated. I feel their albums leave an imprint. Whenever they drop, everybody's going to stop and listen to what they're doing. I'm not even an Isaiah Rashad fan, and that shit has left an imprint so far.
I still listen to it. I mean, but TDE overall does have those type of projects.
Well, but think about this, and it's so funny now. I guess I have to be the champion for quality control for QC. All of the artists from QC are entrenched in pop culture, whether they're adding to the slang, whether they're speaking on social commentary. You can't deny that they are all like a part of that. Girls say period. Like they have to, it's like that's like a thing now. Like girls have to say that now. All these the city boys versus the city girls, like that was like a thing. I mean, if we really want to talk about it, like there's so many things that the Migos have added to pop culture as far as like fashion, slang, how like people talk, people understand and take off. Like that's hilarious to me. I just think that they're like entrenched in it, and what they were able to do, I think, is actually very, very like indicative of what's going on in the culture, right? So I just think that makes like a difference because like there are members of QC that have like huge moments in pop culture right now.
Yeah.
And like they're always talked about, and I don't think that their music like goes away like how you say that it does. Like they've had songs that were like number 1, like multiple artists. Like I feel like on TDE, like yes, like they put out critically acclaimed projects, but it's Kendrick Lamar. Where TDE, I feel like the fame is kind of spread around.
Yeah, but the fame is spread around on TDE too. Yeah, it's not just Kendrick. People have been waiting for a new SZA album since 2018.
Okay, people waiting on the SZA album for that long, right? But I just feel like their audience, like it's not as the playing field isn't as even as it is for the QC artists.
Well, what do you
like? Like what I'm saying is that like City Girls, Lil Baby, Migos, right? Top 3 acts, right? When they all put out, they all do just as well. Nobody on TDE is doing as well as Kendrick.
Well, okay, so I get what you're saying. They're all that star status, but nobody is doing as well as Migos on QC.
Lil Baby is. Lil Baby's doing better than Migos.
On his own? No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's doing just as well. He had the number 1 single in the country last year.
Yeah, but Migos as an entity
Migos
are doing better,
and Lil Baby they're both doing just as well as each other. Yes, they are.
That's why also
who's headlining?
That's why the rumored behind the scenes beef is there too, because the attention is no longer from the label coming to Migos, all that attention's going to Lil Baby.
If QC is doing a show, who's headlining? A QC show.
Migos should headline because they're the first. They're the first. Like out of respect, Migos
They're the flagship.
should, they're the flagship artists.
Or even
The Migos are the LL Cool J of that.
I
label,
get what he's saying though. Is that as a person who's
No,
paying
you want to know
go
what?
see-
All right,
Hold on, wait. I let you cut me off. Let me finish.
go ahead.
As a person who's paying for a ticket to go see a show, I'm more likely going to pay to see Lil Baby headlining a show than I am to see Migos.
I was about to agree
headlining
with
a show.
you and say that. And it depends on what city, because actually in this city of Atlanta, Little Baby probably will close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a toss up, and that's my point. Anywhere that TDE goes, ain't nobody closing but Kendrick, Anthony Lamar.
But the rest of the team, I feel, has a great dynamic, especially after, like I said, J-Rock had that critically acclaimed album.
He did.
Schoolboy built up hype whenever he does come around. You have Isaiah Rashad, who's taking off in a way nobody thought he would with this project, because I hate to say I was hating before. This is a really good project. You have Reason, who pops up and shows he can hold his own, and then they still have Sir and SZA just chilling on the sideline.
All right, so we're forgetting Griselda, or does Griselda not count? Like, how does
Well,
that work?
that was gonna be my kind of sneak in. Also, I kind of feel Griselda is up there too, especially after when they dropped "Pray for Haiti" with Mac Hami.
Paris. Oh,
Pray for Haiti.
Okay.
With Mac Hami.
Okay.
That shit is great. They've had the next up and comer is Stove God Cooks and what's the other homie's name?
Bodie.
Holy James.
No, Boldy's already critically acclaimed. I feel.
Well, yeah, Bodie is newly with them.
Yeah,
He's
like-
been out for a while.
In the last
And what's Shorty's name? The girl that's-
Armani Caesar.
Armani Caesar. In the last 2 years, they've had at least 2 to 3 albums in contention for album of the year. Even this year, La Machina should be up there. The Harry Fraud project with Benny should be in consideration.
I ain't really like that one. I like the one with Hit Boy more.
I also have an affinity for Harry Fraud instrumentals. Like that's my.
I love Harry Fraud instrumentals. I just didn't
All right,
think.
so the other day, me and this girl was getting into the mood, and she told me, I need to, trim the yard.
Oh, damn.
And I don't, do you have any recommendations?
You know what? Funny you say that, because I got in a similar situation. I had to do some digging. I found some shit, bro. I got to put you on.
Please do.
It's called Manscaped, and Manscaped gave us a code that I want you to use. You can get 20% off, bro.
Get
and
outta
y'all
here.
too. Wrap in order 20. You use that. You go to manscaped.com. Get 20% off your order.
Wow, she is going to be so happy.
And, she won't have no hair on her teeth.
And your balls will thank you.
Fraud instrumentals. I just didn't think this one hit the mark for me.
It completely hit for me.
Yeah, I didn't like this one
All
that
right,
much.
so let's get into CMG. That's Yo Gotti's label. He's doing very well with Rock Nation, right? And he's like Jay-Z's favorite. And LaShawn is over here motioning to us to talk about the label, even though he doesn't want to get on camera. So what's the artist name? His name is SG.
ESTG.
Mm-hmm.
The fentanyl.
I didn't know how to pronounce it, because I see it and I'm like, is it SG or is it ESTG?
ESTG.
Yeah.
Fentanyl King.
Okay, ESTG, right? Black Youngster is also on that label.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is besides him and Black Youngster? Who else?
Money Bag Yo.
Money Black Yo.
Love
on
Money
that
Bag
label?
Yo.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I fucking love Waukesha.
It's the whole Memphis scene that's really.
Money Bag Yo's from Memphis.
Yeah.
I'm old. now.
Doug's not signed.
42.
42.
Over there
Yeah.
too.
42 Doug is over there too.
Mhm.
Listen, like all the dudes that talk about killing people. See what I'm saying? So, I think that they're doing. I think that they kind of give like they're like, to me, they're like a down south Rough Riders. The aesthetic that they give, the energy that they bring. And here goes LaShawn with the big hub. LaShawn was like 2 when Rough Riders was doing it. So maybe he just don't remember that. But what I'm just saying is that the energy that label brings in their artists, and they label brings out. I'm just saying they bring that energy, right?
I get the energy you're speaking of, as far as the people themselves, but as far as the movement feel, it doesn't give me that.
No, yeah, it doesn't have that camaraderie.
I think the closest thing, there's only 2, maybe 3 groups, I feel like 3 labels that have that camaraderie that it feels like a movement. We mentioned two of them, which is the TDE, QC. I think.
I don't think QC has a camaraderie. I think TDE definitely has camaraderie.
No, but they feel like a movement, not necessarily a camaraderie. They feel like, okay, the label is an entity, a force to be reckoned
You
with.
said
But-
QC has that?
Yeah, I feel QC has that.
Nah, they all move
They
completely
all move
different.
separate.
Okay, you're not getting what I'm saying.
We aren't.
What I'm saying is, as a label, not as a crew, they are an entity to be fucked with. I'm not talking about the
Okay.
actual artists together. I'm talking about as the business label, the business aspect.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones besides maybe a TDE or even well 400 is 300 is up there because I feel like they move like an entity too. You're telling me that they don't have. You don't automatically know Meg Thee Stallion's over there. You don't automatically know that they have the entire YSL over there.
Yeah,
They don't move like a unit.
they don't. They don't really claim when they do their album runs and all this other stuff.
You're
They'll mention the label, but
okay.
it's not
I
like,
mean
yo,
the
I'm
label
signed to
moves.
such
Okay,
and such.
maybe
Yeah, we're
unit's
not.
the wrong word.
Yeah, we're not.
Unit's the
yeah,
wrong
I
word
mean,
because you're seeing it as the artist, as their camaraderie between artists. I'm talking about just the label as an
So-
entity and the way they go about doing business.
CMG.
Like I'm not sure how.
I don't want to be combative about it.
Okay, then change the subject or keep moving.
Okay. So, for you, Reg, do you think that one of these labels is going to have like who's going to have the next breakout artist?
CMG.
That's tough. Well, why do you say CMG?
ETSG still is bubbling.
ESTG.
Yeah. I was right last year at the end of the year when I said when the question was who's gonna have the biggest breakout for this year. I said Moneybagg Yo. And I want everybody.
I was right about that too because I really liked his album.
Them niggas try to laugh.
But it's hard. So it's hard to say which label is gonna have the next breakout.
I get so tapped in right
But I think Gotti is very much like in the run-ins for that.
now. Yeah.
I mean, who knows with everything
also has
he's
the
got
Rock
going
Nation
on right
beast
now.
behind him.
Yeah.
He got Rock
They-
Nation behind him. That matters. But also what?
Well, I was gonna say TDE because they're rebuilding their roster right now.
That's true.
They're in I think also we're
Oh,
forgetting
TDE got this dude,
Ray
Ray Vaughn.
Yes.
Ray Vaughn, they
That
have
dude?
Reason,
That dude, yes.
And you have Isaiah Rashad.
I think
and they're really honing
I
in
think
on
everybody's
Isaiah Rashad.
sleeping because this label's being quiet because their leader put his release out, and I think nobody wanted to step on it. I think also because their main songstress, her name gets thrown around a lot with the Scissor and Summer Walker's. Now that both we know Summer Walker just dropped and Scissor's about to drop, I think Dreamville has a slept-on roster. I think what they did with Revenge of the Dreamers and showing just a little bit of their talent and how much they can work with different groups of people
Revenge of the Dreamers was definitely one of the better crew albums I heard in a while.
in years.
Yeah.
Better crew album in years.
Yeah. It was.
I think Dreamville really has a roster. It's weird but it makes sense. If this is J. Cole's farewell mixtape into his farewell album, I can understand why the rest of the label is falling back and letting him live. Also, Ari is probably their second biggest artist. They don't want her in that space of the Summer Walker says unspoken people putting them to.
You know what I actually saw, speaking of Ari, a big thing on the timeline the other day was that she actually just got her first like big chart entry because of her feature on Summer Walker's album. So that was like a really big thing. Like, damn, like we're failing this artist because everybody fucks with her seemingly, but her music isn't getting the traction that it deserves.
I think like it's very weird. So with Ari Lennox, it comes off like her fan base has to only be like a very small portion of people, and it seems larger to us because of the realm of Twitter that we're on. But I thought that she was a bigger artist than what she is, and like that was very like shocking to me. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, like it's like damn, like maybe like this little part of Twitter that I'm looking at is a lot smaller than I'm
Yeah.
recognizing, because like I was really dumbfounded when I found that out. That she was like that was her first Billboard 100 entry.
Yeah.
Like I really thought that song that she had, what is it?
BMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought that shit was everywhere. And I'm like, I guess it's not. Damn, I guess my ears are pretty black.
That's wild. But to go back to your question, I think it's hard to narrow down because a lot of these labels are really seemingly really tapped in right now. Like Eli said, like TDE is rebuilding and they're putting a lot of artists on the forefront that we didn't know about before. So I'm really interested, and I know I keep bringing them up, but I am interested to see where they go for the next year.
I think QC got this.
You think they got it for the next year?
Yeah, man.
Especially
Coach
if they acquire 300, like it's rumored.
I think that I think a lot of adjustments are going to have to change. I don't think YSL stays if they acquire 300.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think YSL, but also aren't 2 YSL affiliated artists there, Lil Baby and Duke Deuce?
But they're not signed to YSL. Like
What was Gucci's? Who was Gucci's last discovery?
His last
He
discovery?
has a whole new roster.
I mean,
Bro,
Like his last.
bro, no.
yeah, homie, Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shiesty, Big Scar, and some other kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a
And
whole
Lotto.
He just had 3 recent.
And
hits.
Lotto is a Gucci.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like they just
shit.
dropped the whole mixtape.
Yo, bro, like Gucci Man's air for music is they need.
Yeah,
they
that's
need to
why-
give
that's
him
why I
a
was-
lot of money.
Still.
Yeah,
That's why I was wondering.
Discovering artists, man.
That's why I was wondering, like, because I mean, Lotto, a lot of people like Lotto. We were talking about this off mic earlier that Lotto is dope. She's a really good rapper. It just feels like she is gonna get wrapped into doing these like Hot 100 poppy style tunes that like don't really fit the mold of how she is. Because she's a lyricist. Like she got bars. She's gonna get swept into trying to do like the Doja Cat shit. But that's really what Doja Cat is. And Lotto is a real like MC.
I don't know. I feel like this is a good constructive talk.
Quick question: do you think Snoop would be able to turn Def Jam around?
He's already done it.
Fuck no.
He's already doing it.
Hell no.
What makes you say that he's already doing it?
Signing Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher is like one of the biggest like prospects to sign in hip hop right now. He could have went to Interscope. He could have stayed independent, but Snoop was able to.
I'm
sign
actually
him.
surprised he didn't stay independent.
And
I'm surprised
I
at
think
that.
I think Snoop is going to be able to like. A lot of rappers respect Snoop, and Snoop knows a lot about the music industry, and I want to trust that. You know, one thing that Snoop Dogg has always said, even from like his early like interviews when he remember that movie The Show, like they always talked about how they respected Def Jam, and I think that Snoop is one of those people that actually really cares about something like that. So I actually think that like he's one of those people that's like really pushing for things to be changed and like doesn't give a fuck about all this analytics
What's,
shit and all this streaming shit. Like he actually really wants to like bring in artists that are dope and like has his ear to the streets. And I think that Snoop is really trying. So I actually think that Snoop is absolutely going to turn.
What's
Def
Snoop?
Jam around.
What's Snoop's official position over there?
Like executive consultant, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, I believe it's executive consultant, but I'm very confident in that. I don't think that when Snoop show me something that Snoop has failed at.
That's more where my thing is. I feel like Snoop has always been successful. I don't think he's done it yet. I think it's going to take more than that Benny signing.
Absolutely.
But I think, for example, in his interview with Rogan, he speaks about it, the way he's complimenting the artist that he's bringing up and speaks highly about what he wants to do and all those things. I think Snoop definitely has the ability to turn Def Jam around, especially because it's such not an obvious move, but an obvious move, if that makes sense. Like, you have to respect the level of successfulness that Snoop has had. He's the most famous rapper there's ever been.
Is Maybach Music still a thing?
Hell no. That's dead. That's a dead label, man.
Whoa.
Wait, that who?
I don't know.
This is a dead label.
I don't know. I think I want to hear this album. I want everybody's reception to
Well,
this
no,
album.
I'm not saying that Rick Ross is dead. Rick Ross is fine, but I just don't like that. Like that, them being as a label and all that stuff. Like, nah, that thunder's gone.
Who do they have anymore? They have Wale.
They're dead.
Yeah, they still have Wale.
Meek.
They
is
still
there,
have Meek, but I
happily.
think Meek is kind
Wale is on the
of.
verge of a meltdown. He's like a month away from a meltdown.
I don't know. I kind of feel like he seems the most peaceful than he's most.
He just
at peace.
tweeted. He just tweeted how he's upset about something before his tour because the label told him not to do something.
No, he was upset about the artwork.
Huh.
Let's put context.
All right. So
Let's be responsible here.
All right, we're being responsible. A meltdown is on the way. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he is getting some good reviews for this album, so we'll see what happens.
All right. So, with that being said, I'm Taurian B,
I am First Class Reg.
and we will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
Peace.